All right, let's go ahead and make sure we are awesome at graphing lines because it's only going to get more difficult from this point. And we can kind of work on a couple other things through this process. But we're going to re-quiz on graphing lines, identifying slope and y-intercept, then changing standard form to slope-intercept form on Wednesday. But I want to make sure that we are just a little bit better at doing this because we made some silly mistakes, and we've got to get this down if we're going to be successful for the rest of the semester. Number one, so I want to graph this line. My first step, I always have to plot or point here, find the y-intercept and make a point on the graph. So my first step is plot the y-intercept. Okay, plot it. So here the y-intercept is 3. All right? So I'm going to find 3 on the graph and make my point here. Now I place this point here on 3 because this is the y-axis. Y-intercept, y-axis. Now, the slope is 8 over 5. It's positive, so I would be going up 8 and over 5, but there's a problem because I'm going to go off the graph. I know that some of you on the quiz, you made more of a graph, which is awesome. Not what I'm looking for. I want both points to be on this graph. So, if I normally would be going up 8 and over 5, can't I do the opposite and it would still work? The answer is yes, because it's going to be a straight line no matter what. So, if it's going to go off the graph, simply do the opposite. So instead of up 8, I'm going to go down 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And instead of to the right 5, I'm going to go to the left 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, these are my 2 points. This is my line. Now, let's try to visualize what you would have done if you went the direction it said to. You'd go 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm trying. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't you see here that if I were to connect these, it would be still a straight line? Well, kind of, not really. But yes, so it's regardless either way. It's still the same thing. This is how I do this point here. This is how I do that line. Let's go over here. Again, first step, identify the y-intercept and plot it. Second step is go from the y-intercept, and I'm going to put count the slope, which means just count off and go up and to the right. So let's go with this one. Y-intercept is -1. I'm going to find the y-axis. So I'm going to go and plot a point at -1. And this one is up 4 to the right 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And that is my line. All right. Let's do a couple more. And I'll have you try some on your own. And the fever form has some extras that you can work on too. All right, let's do these two together. Here for number 3, I'm going to plot my y-intercept. My y-intercept here is -1. So I'm going to go to -1 on the y-axis and plot it. The slope here is just simply 3. But remember, if it doesn't look like a fraction, you need to make it look like one. So I'm just going to put a fraction bar and 1 over there because it's not just up 3. That's just a straight line up. It doesn't help us. The slope is always a fraction, even if it doesn't look like a fraction, to make it look like one. So from this point, -1, I'm going to go up 3, 1, 2, 3, and over 1. So that's my line. Okay? Now, you can continue it with the arrows. I like doing that because the line goes on forever. Here, -2 is my y-intercept. Now this one's -2 is the slope. Remember, if it doesn't look like a fraction, you need to make it look like one. -2 over 1, so down 2 over 1. That's my line. All right? Going to give you 2 more to work out on your own, and then you'll have the fever to do as well. And I'll show you the answers for the 2 that we do together. Okay. All right, graph those 2, pause me, make sure you graph them correctly, and then I'm gonna go and throw the answers on the board for you. Hopefully you've graphed them. I'm putting the answers up. All right. Number 5 is pretty simple. Up 1 for the y-intercept, and then up 2 over 1. That's easy. Here, actually, this one's not too bad either because the y-intercept was so far down here, you didn't have to do the opposite. You didn't have to go the other direction because 9 over 4, I would still be on the graph. So down 5, and then up 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 over 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm on the line. All right? Good. Awesome. do the fear form. We need to get good at this. We need to get